Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Geeks of the Round Table podcast. It has been a while. The date is September 15th, 2013, and with me today is the Sofa Reviews, Matt Hartley.
Hello.
Not another reviewer, Tim Bauer.
Hi.
And Jamiroquai's Joey Mason.
Well, it's been a while. Remember that song?
See, if Joey cuts out during any particularly verbose things, it's me. I have a fader switch for his microphone, so that's my fault.
And Jamiroquai's Joey Mason, and you just never hear from me in the rest of the podcast.
Well, you cut out. I had to go up with something.
Put a big disclaimer. Oh, Joey had mic problems. And by that we mean he was a dumbass the entire time. He's still stinging stained.
But today we're going to talk about movies, games, TV shows, what have you, that the general population seems to really like, that we really hate. Or
Every single fucking thing I review.
in short, yes.
We're just going for the jugular in this review. We're going to irritate a lot of people.
As with anything like this, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. We just think your opinion is wrong. So,
Yeah. We're the ones that make the videos.
Yep. Is there anyone that would like to start us off? Or I can start us off, or whatever floats our collective boat.
Don't matter to me. Either way, I feel like I'm going to offend a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like fun. Go for it, Joey.
All right. Well, first of all, Mike told us the topic for the podcast just a couple hours ago, and I'm like, I really don't hate a lot of things that people love, but I'll have to think about it. Within about 3 minutes, I made like a good page of things that I realize I don't like. Now, to put this little disclaimer out there are some exceptions to the rule, but this is just a broad generalization. Okay, enough with the disclaimer things. I'm going to piss off a lot of people saying this, especially because I'm the only one not in this category right now. I realize what I don't like, what a lot of people love are. I realize I don't like about 95% of YouTube personalities. I'll let that sink in for a little bit, and and let me explain. Here again, I say let me explain, and I just shut up. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't like the YouTube personalities that don't generate their own content, or they're just overly loud and they just rely on the shock humor part, or it's like
So the Carlos Mencias of YouTube.
not only. Yeah. Not.
Well, Joey, you could have just said he didn't like me.
I'll start this list. I hate not another reviewer.
Oh.
No. But it's so weird to like say that because one, I mean, freaking everyone else is a YouTube personality. But here's my stuff, folks. Is that if I'm watching your channel, don't scream at me that you're angry. Don't try to make words like fuck poop to try to get laughs. Don't just play a video game and expect me to be like, oh yeah, it's good. Like, you didn't make the game. I know you're generating content off of it. I get it. But like, and not only that, but here's the other thing too about YouTube personalities, and this is actually with any kind of humor. I feel like people just drive one joke into the ground. Like, they make the joke, and you're like, haha, but they make a whole 3 to 4 minute segment with one person keep making jokes like that, and the other person just laughing hysterically. And I'm like, dude, just let it go. Like,
Do you have
it's
any
funny,
examples
but,
of that?
like, okay. Once again, I'm going to piss off a lot of people. One of the, I guess more recent in the span of things, the Game Grumps. They made
Oh no.
they made the whole Mike Aruba thing. How they thought it was either Mike Aruba or My Karuba. I heard that and I'm like, huh, that's pretty funny. Like, that's kind of cute. Whatever. But I just felt like that joke was just stretched out. I'm like, let's calm down. Like it was funny. But I guess their cutoff point was different from my cutoff point. But if people are still laughing, hey, they're doing something right?
Well, I did buy the T-shirt.
You did?
Yeah.
Nice.
I like it.
Well, there you go. But it's just
A new T-shirt.
He just has the one.
it's the only t-shirt that he has.
I do have like a cycle that I go through, and one is now just too full of holes that I just won't wear it anymore. It's one of my favourites as well.
That's how it got full of holes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And
So-
well, there's that. I'm only going to mention a couple other ones. I'm not going to go down my whole list because that would be a real dick move. Random superficial thing that I don't like that a lot of people love. I do not. This is nothing related to the internet, so maybe we can agree or disagree. I don't like mustard.
You
I
shut
mean,
your whore mouth.
Oh, see, I can't. I love me some ketchup. I can put ketchup on anything. I'll put ketchup on top of ketchup-flavored Pringles and eat them, drink it with some ketchup.
I'm touching the
Okay.
fader.
But mustard, you put one drop of mustard and all that, and I'm just like, ah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
actually
pretty.
I'm on your side with that one. It's different because we have English mustard, which for some reason we title English mustard, but I don't know if I've tried American mustard. I know I don't like English mustard, though.
My brother puts mustard on his French fries.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
The
I always
mustard
feel like-
thing's. The mustard thing's pretty common, though. I think that's like the least liked condiment.
I know a lot
Yeah.
of people don't like mayo.
Yeah,
they-
I'm
they
not-
can- They can take a short walk off a long gangplank, too. I love me some mayo.
I believe you
None of
mean
that
a
light
long
shit.
walk off a short gangplank, but
Yeah.
And see,
No, he just wants to get tired.
oh, okay.
there you go.
No, well, really? You don't... The pirates walk the plank, long walk, short plank, fall in water, ha ha ha.
But see, I have my own situations with mayo because I'm like, if mayo can be a common condiment, why can't gravy be a common condiment?
It's not here.
Okay.
I was waiting for Matt to say something. It's not here.
But
So roast dinner's a Sunday thing here.
what?
Yeah, Joey, it's pretty common in the across the pond there. It's a pretty common ingredient.
Gotcha. Well, it's. I'm just
We had
saying.
cider gravy this week.
Oh, nice. I love me some gravy. If they've sold gravy in a soft drink can, I'd crack one open right now. Like,
Oh,
I would. I love me some gravy.
yeah.
What?
Remember
That's
we
the
were talking
mustard.
about how you breathe heavy?
What? Oh, I felt the whole rhythm.
Wanting to
As for mustard, with
Yeah,
mustard,
yeah.
I always feel like it's not the taste so much. It just feels like it's forcing my face to expand. It's just a weird feeling eating mustard.
Nice. But, sorry. I keep cutting people off. I'm sorry.
You should be.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'll go. I'll go.
It. I just got it. Okay. It's been too long since we've done one of these, so I'm just like...
All right.
Oh, man.
All right. I was going to use one. I was going to use my one more bad thing to segue into someone else's stuff because I know people mentioned it earlier. And this is a more in-depth, not talking about gravy or ketchup or anything like that. I don't like people who keep perpetuating the same bad thing. Let me explain by this. Most everyone knows, like, the fart theory, where someone farts.
Holy shit.
And the first thing you do when someone says, dude, I farted, do you smell? You're like, oh, dude, smell this fart, right? At least that's what I did in, like, junior high. So, it's like, we all know, we've all heard about it, and I imagine it's on someone else's list. Everyone's heard about this Miley Cyrus VMA thing.
Oh, God.
It drives me is the fact that everyone's pushing it to the point that, you know, Syria's getting a little hairy with the, you know, dying and such. The whole NSA thing, and we're chasing that one guy, whatever. But for some reason, every news thing just likes to talk about Miley Cyrus right now, and we don't need that. If you don't like Miley Cyrus, don't talk about her. Like, that's what drives me nuts. Just don't do it. Like, we all know she sucks.
Yeah.
This is a common thing I've found with just general, like, Justin Bieber. I wouldn't know who that guy is if people weren't complaining about him all the time.
Exactly.
I
I haven't even heard the song "Blurred Lines" by Vic, but I know he exists because everybody bitches about him. So that's just it. Everybody needs somebody to hate. With the whole Robin Thicke thing and Miley Cyrus, nobody's been talking about Justin Bieber anymore. And that's all I ever used to see is how much people hate Justin Bieber. It's like, don't put that much effort into hating somebody.
Hey man, yeah, life's too short. Like, I can't hate someone with that much energy. Like, I'm just kind of, yeah, there's two. Like, let's move on. But those were my things. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I actually want to expand on your thing where people put so much energy into hating things. Like, I was discussing this in the Skype, and this is also going to probably generate a little bit of issue. But get the fuck over Robin Thicke, for fuck's sake. As a people, I think we can deal with the idea that some idiot wrote it's really misogynistic, and now saying, oh, it's about rape because it has you in it. It's like, read the rest of the fucking dolt, and it's just so annoying. Because I heard the song, I don't want to hear the song. I just know it's generated 2 parody videos, which are a complete waste of energy. And it's like, you know what? Are you doing this to whore views and stuff? Because that's the thing I can see on this.
I think this is as good as it's gonna get. So yeah, I guess we should start again from here.
Wait, what are we doing?
Continue ranting about he who must not be named.
Oh, I'm not angry anymore.
You expended all of your anger.
I looked at the sandwich. I looked at the sandwich and now I'm okay.
I suppose I could continue. Mine very good because I don't really hate one of them, and I don't know if the other one's quite so popular. So
go for it.
Okay, well the first one is Tekken in general. I like Tekken, and I enjoy it at times, and I especially love Tekken Tag Tournament 2. But it's been one of those games that I've hated a lot over the years. Because I'm a big fighting game fan, and that just... It almost feels like every fight I go into, if I'm good enough, I'm just going to win, and if I'm not good enough, I'm just going to lose. And if we're equal, I'm just going to lose as well. It just seems to go that way all the time, due to a lack of... In my opinion, there's just not enough defensive moves in it, like, say in Street Fighter 3 you can parry, or in Dead or Alive you can do counterattacks or whatever. But over the years I've just found it, especially when it gets to... I don't know how the creators take the story seriously at all and think they can make a movie out of it.
I don't think
Like,
the creators
make
of the games...
themselves. It's like, it's not even a movie that they got a Hollywood person to make. They made their own animated movie, and it's worse than the Hollywood attempt.
Are you talking about the anime one or the CGI one?
The CGI one.
Blood Vengeance?
Yeah. It's worth watching just because of how ridiculous it is. Like, it's all the things that are just bizarre about Tekken, but just not explained at all. So it's just, you just accept that this schoolgirl hangs out with a super fast panda and a cyborg with chainsaws for hands. And there's this guy that's... Sorry, go on.
Oh, I do enjoy the final fight, though. Well, not really the final one, but when it's a Heihachi...
Three-way fight.
Yeah, the three-way fight, I think is quite
Yeah, that
good.
was awesome. The whole craziness setting that up, though, was a bit ridiculous.
Especially
But also
it was meaningless by the time... Everything leading up to that fight was just rendered entirely meaningless.
Yeah, just this one guy that's supposed to be immortal, that's not from the games, and he just killed.
And totally is not immortal. He gets the Bane backbreaker, and he's done.
So, I just didn't try that before. Maybe I should have tried to kill myself harder.
Yeah.
But the series in general, I like it when it's just playing up the ridiculousness and not trying to take itself seriously, which is why I like Tekken Tag Tournament. I think it should be in that sort of Dragon Ball Z kind of area where it knows it's ridiculous, it has fun with it, and the characters are just over-dramatic rather than... I don't know, sometimes it just seems like it's trying to be too meaningful in its end scenes and so on. I think the one that kind of bugs me the most is Steve's, in which they just throw a load of characters in his Tekken Tag Tournament ending that are supposed to mean something, and I have no idea who they are or what's going on. But, yeah, not so much a hate one, but certainly gets hate from me at times. But the other one is a person, and again, I think he might be more popular in America now rather than in Britain, but it's Russell Brand.
Oh, yes.
I just can't stand that fucker. He speaks such bullshit. Sometimes he's on the money what he's saying, but I just find him to be this dickhead of a man that acts like a clown on stage, is very funny, but everyone seems to love him anyway. I guess a lot of women find him attractive. I don't know. It's like he's trying to be the modern day, or rather the real world equivalent of Jack Sparrow.
That's a good
Or maybe
analogy.
Jack Sparrow was based on him. I don't know. Either way, I don't know. I find him to be this colossal cunt.
Cut Lossel, if you will.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like the charming asshole, but I guess the charming part doesn't work sometimes.
Louis C.K. is a charming asshole.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh my god. Can I say something about Louis C.K. real quick?
Go for it.
There is one thing that I love about him, and like we all know how offensive he gets and violent and how much he swears, but there's one joke where he didn't swear once, but that joke stayed with me. He was, and this is about aging because I just turned 30, so this is kind of something for me. But he was at the doctor talking about his shoulder or something, and he asked the doctor said, all right, well you're going to take aspirin. You're going to take aspirin for it now. And he goes, well, how long am I doing that for? And the doctor goes, oh, no. That's just something you do now.
Nice.
Like, that just stuck with me. I love that joke.
Yeah, CK just does not give even a single shit, which I think is what makes him funny. Russell Brand seems to be very much about his image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that, what was it, 2-week wedding celebration when he was married to Katy Perry for like a weekend.
I just don't... It kind of goes with the whole... This isn't a man that's an actor. This isn't a man that's particularly, in my opinion, good as a stand-up comedian, but that's what he's supposed to be. He's basically a show host, more than anything.
Yeah.
And he's in movies. He gets interviewed on news channels about serious issues, and it's like he's just some fucker. No one gives. Why do people give a shit? Is what I'm wondering.
Well, to be honest, that's just a whole like celebrity thing. Like, there was honestly a news show that was asking Odorous Urungus from Gwar, not Dave Brocky, but Odorous Urungus in full fucking Scumdog of the Universe costume, political shit. You know. So that's just a thing now, where news stations assume that, you know, people give a shit what celebrities have to say about these important political events and important social events and shit. So you can figure that out on your own, but I don't get it.
Yeah, not too long ago, I think it was Fox, but they were interviewing Kid Rock for some reason. And Kid Rock.
How long ago was this?
This was like, this was like just before the 2012 election, but Kid Rock was like, "Why am I here?" I think he literally asked, "Why are you asking me this?"
Well, I remember one time, I think it was on Fox News, they had Scott Stapp from Creed talking like on Obama. And I'm like, dude, go back to living in 1998. Just stay there with Creed.
I mean, not to discredit celebrities as a whole, sometimes they are smart and they know what they're saying, and sometimes even Russell Brand says the right thing, even though he says it in a way that makes him look worse than he probably should at that time. But I don't know, it seems like they go for the dumbest person and ask them the dumbest question most. I'm trying to think of what the one was. There was a British one, but they it's like, one thing I don't understand is why so many rappers end up in movies. Like, just in acting roles. And sometimes it's fine, like Will Smith, or even Rihanna in Battleship was fine. Not that she did anything, but that's kind of... It seemed like she was there to basically be a background character. So why was she in this movie anyway? She doesn't do anything. She does get punched in the face, which is a bit grim, but...
Well, she was probably there just for star power to pull in the fans, so...
It was Liam Neeson!
Well, I don't know. I didn't cast it.
He's Batman. And was a Jedi. But he died.
Batman, Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was the Jesus allegory lion.
The Taken film.
Both of them.
Yes.
Liam Neeson.
I was in a really I was in a really, really bad punk band called Listen, and we did a song called Chuck Norris and Liam Neeson Take on the American Government and Win.
How did it go?
Is that song on iTunes?
No, you'll never find any of these songs. I have personally destroyed them. Except for the one that's on my YouTube account, which I shouldn't have just told you about.
But I guess that...
Go ahead.
Huh?
Were you going to say something, Matt?
I said I guess that leads you.
Oh, well, I was going to say that Liam Neeson got his start as an actor by basically just being that really big extra, because dude's super tall. So one of my backup plans for if I cannot find a stable career is to move to Hollywood and just be that really big extra in every movie. Seems legit to me. But speaking of Hollywood, there have been a couple movies that have come out recently that everybody has just lost their minds over, and it's the funniest thing ever, that I don't see it. The most recent one is the movie This Is the End, with Seth Rogen, Jay, I can never remember how his last name goes, real nasally voice, but that movie came out, and everyone was going on about how it's the funniest movie of the year, probably funniest movie in several years, so I got more excited than I probably should have, admittedly. I saw it, and it was just not good, in my opinion. Just it dragged at some points, and then it went way too fast at other points, and just film seemed like the wrong medium for it, I guess. I could see it working as a short or maybe a mini-series, but it did not take any of the advantages that telling the story through movie could have taken. There's a scene where Emma Watson shows up, but by the end of the scene she's left again and is never seen of or heard of for the rest of the movie. And I'm like, okay, why did that happen? And it was just an entire movie of those scenes, and just left very underwhelmed. The second one was Bridesmaids, that I was told was like The Hangover with girls. And the problem with Bridesmaids is just that I could not stand the main character. Like, the main character was one of the most loathsome people that I have seen in movies, because she does nothing but mope, complain, and be angry with people.
Yep.
And the movie just seemed to be trying to get me to feel bad for her.
Yeah, that's actually a big deal I hate with a lot of things, where it's like they take this character that's completely unlikable and then put him in situations where you have to like this character because everybody else is worse or her situation's so bad, and it's just terrible writing.
Yeah, there's a point where she works for a jewelry store, and this teenager comes in and is like, I want to get like a friendship bracelet or something, I don't know. And she just like fallen out with her friend, so she starts yelling at this teenager, and at the end of it straight up calls her a cunt. And then she gets fired, and we're supposed to be like, oh, her life's in a downward spiral, and I'm like, she deserves it.
Yeah.
I don't know in what universe that's acceptable behavior. Also, if you drink and then accept medication from your sworn blood enemy on an airplane, I can't feel sorry for the consequences of those actions.
I feel that the issue that Bridesmaids had was that, like, how do I say this without sounding like a real dick?
Let her fly, buddy. Let her fly.
Okay, I feel like people are used to like making jokes off of like shock humor, which, you know, it's typical. Hey, it works. But like, I feel like they were writing too much on the fact that it's like, we're doing shock humor stuff, but this time it's a bunch of girls saying it. Like, haha, get it? She had to crack her towel over because she had so many boys and they jerk off so much. And I'm just like, huh. Like, there was no like initial, whoa, haha, that's funny. It was more like try too hard. That's how I felt about that whole movie. I'm just like, oh no, I'm watching girls puke because, you know, I've never been to college, so I've never seen that, right? Like,
well, in the airplane scene when they're like going to go to Vegas for the bachelorette party, and you've got the big girl who's like very brash, but I guess an overachiever. You've got the woman who's the newlywed, who's still in like the honeymoon mentality of her marriage, and then you've got the woman who's been married too long and all romance is dead. And I thought, if it's about these characters interacting, because there are some really fascinating things you could have these characters like play off each other, just the group dynamics, and then no, they get kicked off the plane and we barely see any of the other characters again.
and then there was the lady that broke Professor Xavier's spine. I don't like her either.
I wouldn't like her either. What the fuck?
No, it was, I forget the actress's name, but like, I just know
think it was
that
Magneto.
Well, she was the one firing the gun, and Magneto deflected the bullet or whatever.
yeah.
Well, yeah, it's more his fault, really. For
True.
I know that's the point that they made, but I really don't remember that actress's name. All I know is that she always looks concerned for no reason, and she always messes everything up. Because she did that in Insidious, she did that in X-Men First Class.
So I think you're thinking of Willow Smith. Or Jaden, sorry. Always
Jaden's-
looking concerned.
I always kind of feel that way about Carl Urban.
About
He
who,
always
sorry?
looks kind of like Carl Urban.
Okay.
Hmm?
Your voice cut out while you were saying that.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, I always feel he sort of looks kind of sort of like oh no. Especially in red.
no.
I guess if you're going up against Bruce Willis, you might want to think about your life for a moment.
Consider what brought you to that point.
Yeah.
This guy's done how many action movies? And he's 90?
Hey, random thought. Did you know Bruce Willis also was a blues musician? In like the 80s?
Yep.
I'm like, you're a white middle-aged movie star. What do you have to be blue about? Like singing the blues and such.
Oh, all that glass in his foot.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's still there.
You know, him like hooking up with Lohan, you know. He can be blue about that. That happened once, I think. I don't know. I don't care.
But on the subject of characters that... I'm kind of torn about saying this because it's an upcoming review for us, but in the Spider-Man movies, the old ones, or the first trilogy... No, actually. Mary Jane.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
for some reason, she cares a whole lot about what Peter Parker thinks, even though there are so many better people for her at that time. Like, there's no reason why she should be so obsessed and blowing off all these other people for him, because he's just some nerd that she knows that sometimes says nice things.
Did I ever tell you about my Spider-Man 3 adventure?
No.
Mention that? Oh, this is a good story. It makes me heartless, but you know what? I'm a let her fly. In the words of Tim Bauer. Freaking, okay. So it's Spider-Man 3, and I'm in high school, so you go to, and I live in the middle of nowhere, so you go to a movie every weekend. And so Spider-Man 3 was out, and it was pretty packed. And it was the scene where Mary Jane is like in the nightclub, and Peter Parker's having his emo dance party thing, you know? And it's a spoiler if you haven't seen Spider-Man 3. She ends up like hitting her, and I remember in the theater when Peter Parker hit Mary Jane, in fact, everyone in the theater gasped like, but then one guy that was like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, because after that moment, I realized Mary Jane was a complete bitch during that moment, and so I'm like, you know what? I'll let it happen. I'll allow it.
Yeah, it'll play.
That said, I stand by that Sam Raimi needs to make a Daily Bugle comedy show.
Oh, like The Office, but in the Daily Bugle?
Yes. Because those are the best bits of those movies, and I want more of movies, rather. And I can't believe J. Jonah Jameson isn't in the current movies.
Say that Jameson was perfect.
Yeah. But I can't think of another comic book character done so well. Maybe Tony Stark.
Tony Stark,
Yeah,
I'd argue
holy
that.
shit.
I'd argue Beast. The
Yes,
movies he was
actually.
in sucked, but
Well, X-Men 1, not 1, sorry, 3, Beast. I thought he was really crap in First Class.
We don't
I love
even
First-
want,
Yeah, sorry,
we don't
go on.
really want to talk too much about X-Men 3.
No, we don't.
oh man.
Although I
his
bought
kid's
the...
powers, he takes away powers, but what happens if you used his power on himself? Universe explodes? I don't know.
Oh, dude, what?
They derive the cure for mutations from this one mutant who cancels
Is it-
out all other mutants.
Has it ever worked that way, though? Because I'm pretty sure, at least at one point in the cartoons, Cyclops took on Havoc, and neither of them could hurt each other because their energy was the same. Because they didn't know they were brothers at the time, so they're just trying to kill each other and nothing was happening.
Yeah, it's both. They both run on like the converted solar energy, so
Science.
But it might just be someone's powers doesn't technically work on themselves unless that's the point of him.
Yeah, that's probably right.
It's comics, so
One would think Ro could touch her own face or whatever, but
yeah.
I'm sure that there's some spin-off alternate world where that's not the case or something. I don't know.
That'd be weird. But you have to wear
Comics are
a jump.
already weird.
If you could touch everyone but yourself.
That would be a tragedy.
Is life even worth living at that point? I mean,
No!
Makes for a lot
Lord
of
knows
good
I wouldn't have survived. Oh,
have you guys seen the costumes for Days of Future Past?
Only Storm, I think. They've
I
tried
don't-
to sort of do the whole... She's not got a mohawk, but her hair's still kind of uppy.
I've seen it, the ones of Xavier, and if you could condense the 70s into one picture, it would be the costume design for this movie.
As in comic book 70s or just the 70s?
Just every 70s stereotype of real life.
I'm going to have to look this up. Days...
So while he's looking that up, Tim or Joey, do you have any other dislikes that that sort of go against the norm?
Yeah, I just thought of one, and it's not going to be good. Nintendo 64.
Ooh.
I hate that system so much. I mean, like, the good games on it are really good, but there's really just a whole lot of crap. Like, I love Super Mario 64. Ocarina of Time looks good, but I do not like that game, so there's another one. Majora's Mask I'm really curious about, though, so I might actually love that game. But, like, that system just has so much shit associated with it. So many bad games. Just such a terrible catalog. Yet everybody says, oh, it's the best console. No, it isn't. It's a terrible console. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, for every really good game on the N64, you had, like, Earthworm Jim 3D and Busby 3D and just a bunch of games that were really not good.
Well, Bubsy was PS1.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, no loss there, really. But, I don't know, I think the best games... that's kind of Nintendo's thing since the Nintendo 64. The best games have been some of the best at the time, but the worst games have been some of the most... terrible at the time. I think in one of the previous podcasts I mentioned Mortal Kombat Mythologies. The Nintendo 64 version of it is the worst, because it removes all of the FMV cutscenes that are hammy as hell and really fun. It's just one of those systems, I loved it at the time, and I'd probably love it still, but it didn't age as well as the PlayStation.
Yeah,
part of the
and the
problem
thing
is-
is... Oh, go ahead.
No.
Well, and another one of the things is it just hit retro. So in order to get like Nintendo 64 games now, they're incredibly expensive, even for all this shovelware crap now. And it's just I have a history of disappointment with that console. Like, has anybody ever played Quest 64?
No.
Yes,
Zilla hasn't he?
Yeah, that was one of his first reviews.
Yeah, I should watch that review and see what he thinks. Because it's like, I like the game, but then I beat it, and then I was like, that's it? That's all? We're done? Just played this game, and there's nothing. Can I see the ending, please? It was just so disappointing.
There was a Game Boy Color version of it, which I think it was just called Holy Magic Century or something, which just sounds like something Robin would shout out. But it was like an old arcade Pac-Man style thing where you just collect jewels and then attack enemies with a magic wand.
Yeah.
Like a top. It was actually quite fun, but it wasn't an RPG. I forget how much I must have it somewhere. It's one of the few Game Boy Color games I still have lying around. But yeah, I think I found the picture because this one's just taken a year to download. But it's Xavier in his wheelchair with a shirt that looks like it vomited all the shades of pink.
Yeah, that's the one. He's like kind of lounging in the chair, like leaning back.
Yeah, he looks like he's basically become homeless.
Yeah.
Maybe he's depressed because he can't use his legs anymore. Or, I don't know, maybe just... Maybe this is why he goes bald later on, they just forced it upon him.
Yeah.
But I found another picture which is pretty cool. Yeah. Where is it?
Well,
Of Ian McKellen and what's his name? Andrew Fassbender?
Michael
sort of-
Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender with the modern Magneto and old Magneto sort of crossed together.
Oh.
I'll link
Oh
here.
yeah, like in like the X formation or whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen that picture too.
I'm not gonna lie though, Michael Fassbender in the full Magneto costume at the end of First Class just looks stupid.
I thought it was great.
Come again?
I love it. One of my problems with Magneto's costume in the movies is just the helmet looked awful. And it was just good to see the proper Magneto suit on screen for once.
I
They
just
have
don't-
toned it down a little bit, however.
Yeah, I just don't think Michael Fassbender filled it out like correctly.
Probably
I
not.
don't know. It was hard to
But I
put my
thought-
finger on, but
I really liked him as Magneto, though, just as... Because it was finally having a Magneto movie, which I think is probably the best story of X-Men. Of all the characters you want to focus on, the villain is actually the most powerful just because he's the one... His backstory makes a lot of sense as to why he's doing what he does.
oh yeah. Magneto's definitely the most interesting of the major X-Men characters. And
He's been my favourite Marvel villain pretty much forever. Followed by the Lizard, because I just like the Lizard.
fair enough. Well, I think that's all the time we have today to talk about how we buck tradition. I had a full thought there, but it's gone now. So, I will just ask if you guys have any closing statements.
Fuck Russell Brand.
And if you take anything away from this podcast, let it be that. Anyone else? Or
I'm gonna have to go with fucking. If you find a puzzle that features a very large sandwich, buy it. It's worth it.
It's a conversational piece.
okay.
Buy it, put it together, get the puzzle glue, put it on the wall. People will ask questions.
Nice.
See if you can make the sandwich. That should be the puzzle.
Ooh.
Actually making the sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
They just provide you with the pieces.
Well, in regards to Jamiroquai, I've been a little bit snowed in with work and such, so hopefully we'll have something up in the next week or two. But that's all I gotta say.
Actually, in regards to not another reviewer, how nothing has appeared for the last 2 months. Picture finally loaded. Okay. Anyway,
Oh god.
but yeah, the last 2 months have yielded nothing because the game I reviewed for July, I actually played through the entire thing, but I hated it so much that I died. And recently resurrected, started a new job, and moved. So I'm working on one for this month.
Alrighty.
That was
Tim is
really
silent
weird.
now.
I just love how there's a moment of silence after everything everybody says, like just contemplating, the repercussions of what this could possibly mean.
There are layers of meaning that we have to delve into.
We just gotta let things sink in, you know? Like, we talk about heavy stuff at the round table.
I feel like this is like hosted by James Lipton or something. Is that guy's name? The guy that has a stack of cards and is like, well, you see. Like the dark room interviewer guy. Do I know who I'm talking about?
Oh, you mean like Charlie Rose? That guy?
I don't know. Hold on.
The guy that asks like really deep questions, and you're just like, you know, people are screaming internally when they're having interviews there.
Oh no, I'm talking about James Lipton. He's the right guy. Hold on, let me find what show it. Inside the Actors Studio. That guy.
Oh, that yeah. Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
All right,
Made
everybody.
a reference that nobody's gonna get.
I know what you're talking about. I just looked him up.
And that's the reference that we're going to end on here today. So for all of us here at Geeks the Round Table, I hope you join us next time.
If there is next time,
In
there
like a
won't be
month.
for me. There won't be for me. I'm being fired, I think.